I laugh at him, and I mock him, or I make fun of him.
I had dreams, and I threw it all away.
Me too, Nick. Something topical today. Hello everybody watching. Now I know you probably clicked on the video for Nikocado. You are seeing my lovely face also because this video is personal. This video is personal also. I've seen videos made by him by many creators, some very harsh. I feel like a lot have been quite sympathetic for Nick, saying like, clearly you're struggling, you're leading yourself to ruin. Now we're here. So why I'm making this video is yesterday, the timeline of this is all very funky. I mean, yesterday I saw a Sunny V2 video about Nikocado Avocado talking about his latest video. His latest video is depressing, or whatever he titled it. I disagree. I watched the video, the 41 minutes. I found it extremely exciting. I wanted to make a video, a positive video, encouraging Nick and anyone else going through a similar thing, that what Nick expressed in that video is really, really awesome, and I want to express that and talk about how much I never thought I'd make a video about this, but this video is about how much I relate to Nikocado Avocado, and that sounds really funny, doesn't it? Sorry. Does this look better? This is a bit off script, so I just want to watch the video again. And also, I did see something just before I went to sleep last night about maybe a little update from Nick. And so this video is about his video he published 4 months ago, titled Bye. This is where he expressed his frustration with how he's been living his life. I'm not going to do a big, like, YouTube researcher thing, but I recall him mentioning before, like, he knows this is all bad for him, and I know a lot of what he's done is playing up for drama, putting on, like, the breath mask thing, and there is a part of it where he knows his health is struggling, and he plays it up for the video because he wants to make money, and he's willing to sacrifice his health and some of the years of youth in his life to get a bunch of money, and then stop and cut all the weight off, and that has been his plan for a while. Yet it is unwise to sacrifice your health for money. That's not worth it, and so I didn't want to encourage that at all, and I think we are seeing the result of that here. So let's begin straight off.
I'm just gonna tell you right off the bat, I'm on the edge of a breakdown. Like, most likely by the end of this video, or halfway through, I'm gonna be flipping out. It's one of those moments in life where you know that you're on the edge. You know that you really want to, and you know you shouldn't. It's honestly a lot to do with you. My life was going great, so I decided to do this YouTube life.
He gets right into it and basically says he's struggling a lot, and I want to take what he's saying honestly, because that's what I want to do, and that's what I believe, even though he's built up quite a persona and he's exaggerated a lot of things. Often when we have been doing something that we don't like for a long time, it's stuck within us, and we kind of have to express it. Videoing ourselves or verbally saying it to someone or no one, but just saying it out loud, allows us to actually express how we feel. I find that even when I do that, I struggle to even express truly the intensity of how I feel. I won't be able to fully express it, even with the camera on me, even feeling like, oh, I need to get your attention and be all high energy and stuff. I just couldn't encapsulate how I actually feel, and so I'm very willing to see this as not an exaggeration, as something, him trying to be honest and earnest. And even when he tries to like go on with the mukbang filming, he just gets frustrated, and he just can't do it. It's very emotional, and he's saying, hey, I need to get something off my chest. Prefaces it with, it's got to do with the audience.
Where I thought it'd be fun to reach people, share community, make videos.
So he's mocking himself for why he began YouTube, because he thought I could, grow an audience and have a community, and he's realizing that he didn't do that well at all.
I thought that would be fun. I thought that would be a fun way to make money, a fun way to get myself out there, a fun way to live my life. And I'm sitting here thinking, I have thrown away the best years of my life.
This is not true, Nick, and anyone. I'm going to be addressing this to Nick. I'm going to address him, and that includes anyone else watching. So it's not true. You haven't thrown away the best years of your life. Any time in your life can be the best time of your life. I know people who have felt the most energized when they're in like their 50s or 60s. Yeah, I know people who've had the best times of their life after a divorce, or after their kids have become estranged to them. And there's obviously people who have the best years of their life when they're kids. A bunch of people, their youth was the best time. Like, you threw away a lot of the potential of your... Nick's 32 right now, so you threw away a lot of the potential of your late 20s, early 30s. But you can gain so much. You can gain so much, and you can have the best years of your life. That is almost surely to come.
Guys act with shallow mannerisms anyway. Like, y'all are shallow. Not everybody, but most of you.
Nick obviously is upset right now. And clearly... people could say this and say, oh, he's calling his audience shallow, he's calling the majority of people watching bad, or he doesn't like most of his audience. Yeah, because he's been making content he doesn't like. It's the same thing with iDubbbz. This is getting into a lot of YouTube drama, isn't it? But I'm a very avid YouTube watcher. I remember people talking about iDubbbz, and when he like expressed, yeah, I don't like my audience, I don't like my old content, to hell with that. I don't like it. I wasn't happy with what I was doing. I wasn't happy with the audience I was attracting, and yeah, I want to move on from that. And a lot of people got upset and said, oh, iDubbbz, you can't throw your audience under the bus. Insulting your audience is a terrible idea. He matured. He made content, and when he interacted with his fans, he realized, oh, these are not people I want to talk to. I don't like my audience. I don't like the effect I'm having on people. I don't think the content I'm making is actually a good thing. So I want to distance myself from that and make something better and mature. And that's what he tried to do. I think it's really commendable to look back and say, yeah, I don't like the audience I've made for myself. I want to change. That's a good thing to do. Nick is doing the same thing, where he doesn't like the majority of his audience. I think, and now he does go on and say like, oh, all of the comments, you might see like 2,000 comments that are nice, but then there are 100,000 comments that are mean. And so what does it matter? Like, if you ignore the masses, you're just being delusional. To that I say, under the Sunny V2 and under this video, there is actually a lot of positive comments. I think most of the comments I saw were positive. Some of them very judgmental, or like, you get what you deserve or whatever. But a lot of them were quite nice and empathetic, and I'm making this video also to support him. And I feel like if you've been in a culture and making, like, you've had your whole lifestyle revolved around something that you don't actually like, that you were just doing because you thought you could make some money from it and then discard it and benefit from the money, doing something that is not your passion, doing something that you don't love just to get the money, and it's lasted way longer, you've not gotten the benefits that you've wanted, you've gotten all of these issues now. It makes so much sense that he is seeing the bad side of it, and he's struggling with that. He's seeing all of the hate he gets. I think a lot of the videos that I've seen about him have been quite nice, but also I tend to not follow or watch YouTubers who are really mean. So maybe that's a thing there. But there is a lot of support around Nick, and it's not just me. I suppose maybe I could have made a video beforehand supporting him, but I didn't really want to do that because I hadn't seen that he had this change of heart and change of intention, and this is what this is about right here. So let's continue.
I wish I could turn back the clock. I wish I could go back in time. I wish I would never have done YouTube. I wish I would have never decided that this would be a fun way to make a living, that this would be a fun way to have a life, this would be a fun way to provide for my family. That's what it was all really about. And it's so ironic, because if you knew, make an effort, Nick, don't curse, because I'm not editing this. It'd be funny if I put in a little cut right there.
I know when I've had some mental breakdowns or like some breakthroughs, I crack a joke and it makes me laugh. So I'm glad he can do that.
Like follow my cameo or some BS like that. I just did it. That's really funny. See, I can crack myself up. I feel like I do have a good sense of humor, you know? That's the funny thing. Like, I feel like I am funny. I feel like, in a way, YouTube is great for me to be funny. It's a great way for me to put myself out there. You know? But at the end of the day, I turn off the camera and I am miserable. I am not happy.
Seldom millions of people online.
I got an advert. You're welcome, Nick.
I have some good people here and there, but most people, no. And it's very difficult for me. It's extremely difficult for my psyche, for my motivation to get out of bed, knowing that my job is to face people who hate me, who don't care for me, that aren't even interested in me. They're here to see someone fat. They're here for someone fat.
Okay, he is expressing the belief that most of his viewers are hate watching, or watching just to laugh at him, and he plays up to that. He wears like the mask and he like cries and goes around, and I'm sure some of it's like emotional expression, but he always front loads a lot of his videos with that to get the clicks and the people watching, and then does just a regular mukbang. I feel like what he's expressing here is he feels dehumanized and objectified by the fact that people don't really care about him, and that they're just there to see the absurdity of his body, which he's showing off. And so many of these things you can say, yeah, but he put this on, he's done this to himself, or, you know, he advertises or encourages that. That is not what this is about, okay? We constantly do things that are not to our benefit, with pressures at work, with social pressures, with if we have an issue with being submissive in our relationships, if we can't assert ourselves, if we allow the systems around us that are trying to exploit us, if we just allow that to happen, we're still victims of that system, no matter how much we actually personally engage and encourage that. If we are being preyed upon by a viewership that doesn't actually care about us, economic environment that doesn't care about our happiness and just wants our production, the adult film industry that just wants to prey on our loneliness and our lust. These are things that prey on us. These aren't things that define us. Nick here is not defined by his behavior. He's defined by who he actually is underneath that. His true behavior, what he's doing when he's happy. If what he's doing when he's miserable, that doesn't mean that's who he is. He is acting out of his core character, and that's why I believe he's so disenfranchised. That's why he's so upset and disgusted with not only himself but his viewers, but with the majority, what he believes is the majority of his viewers, because they're there to see not his true self but his flubber, his everything around him, pardon the expression. But if there is the core of who we are, and this core does not change, this is what defines me. No matter what stage in life I'm at, this is who I actually am. And then everything around me is both the more superficial parts of me, and then also all the muckiness that gets in the way. My fear, my anxiety, everything that obfuscates my openness to other people and to myself. The knowledge of myself and the openness I have to other people who I care about. All of that muck that gets in the way of other people being able to see the core of myself, who I actually am. All that flubber, if they're just there to see that, if they're just there to engage with that, I don't think that they actually love who I am deep down. They just like how I am right now. Or if they're here to just goggle at it and they don't actually like it, or they hate watching it or something, then they completely disregard my core. They don't care about what's underneath it. They're just here to see whatever I have to show off. That's not actually my true self. That is frustrating. I've felt that before, where somebody's just judged me for how I appear and not who I am deep down, and who I want that person to come out. I want that person to be able to express themselves and be open. I've been obfuscated by fear of like actually connecting with people and asking questions and stuff. I've had bullying in my life. I've had people judge me and discard me. I've been socially outcast before. And being in situations where you can't truly be yourself, and especially as this person, Nick, has had to publicly, tries to publicly benefit off of showcasing his crazy side and his gluttony and stuff like that, which is not who he really is. In this video, he expresses who he thinks he really is. He thinks he's a passionate musician. He thinks he's somebody who wants an intimate and close community of like-minded people. And he despises that he has neither of those things, that he's dropped his music, that he's not going to these concerts, he doesn't have these opportunities, he's not making any money, he's not inspiring anyone.
Happiness that I have lost. I had a lot more pride. And when I would finish my shows, I would sign autographs, which I think some people would now, actually. But it's for a different reason. It's not because I just inspired them. It's not because I just gave them hope. It's not because I lifted their spirits and shared the joy. It's because I am a fat, funny meme.
That's a big part of this video here. I don't even think I'm going to react to the rest of the video. It's a waste of time. But he wants to inspire people. That is what he sees himself as. He sees himself as someone who's passionate about music, who's dedicated a lot of his life towards music, and he resents that he's dedicated too much of his life to trying to exploit his surface level gluttony to get money. And he's not inspiring anyone. He's cultivating an audience who doesn't like him, he believes. That's why he's so frustrated. In a little bit here, he says that he hates everyone. He finds it difficult to love anyone. He hates his family. He's having arguments with his family that he doesn't open up much, but he says he's arguing with his family. He hates his husband. He hates his friends, or many of his friends. He doesn't like his audience. He's expressing these things not because he doesn't also love these people and these things at the same time, but that he's built so much hatred over it at the same time because he's not authentically being himself, and he's been struggling with the inauthenticity of how he's been portraying himself. And that's distressing. That's awful when you realize you've been wasting your life by living it not as yourself, but as what people view you to be.
It's just, I wish I could go back in time and tell myself, Nick, this is not the path. Just hang in there a little bit more. Something might come up. Something's bound to come up. You knew some good people. I had connections.
So here he's expressing regret that he's squandered his opportunities, and he's not capitalized off of what he's been given. Again, I relate to this because I also feel like I've been given so many good things. I've been given stuff and friends, and I feel like I have a good character of heart, but I've not been living that out. I've been jealous. I've been greedy. I've been very closed off, and I have been hateful to others also. I've struggled to connect with people. I find it difficult to connect with men, like having male friends. I found it hard, and I've had a lot of hatred in my mind when I'm like being interacted with by male like acquaintances, and I don't know. I know I have so much love in me, and I feel regret that I've failed to learn how to express that. I just relate to Nick so much because he's showing that the way he's been living his life, he doesn't like it. He's been doing it anyway. Why do we do the things that we hate? And why do we not do the things that we love? Why is that? I am religious, or I'm spiritual. I follow Jesus. He's my savior. Jesus is my savior. I love Jesus. And God the Father is just, that's who I look to every day. And that helps a lot. And I feel, and you can see this in a non-spiritual way if you wish, or a non-Christian way, but humans are spiritual beings, and I feel like most of you watching can understand what I say when I say this thing. And it is that when we live in a way that does not match the core values or the core characteristics of who we are, we get frustrated. We become irate. We become angry, frustrated people who hate everything. And that is a reaction to a lackluster life, or a life that does not suit us or match us. And it makes us just become more and more resentful until we can't take it anymore, and we have to express ourselves. And when we get to that breaking point, like Nick is, like I was like 2 weeks ago, and then I tried to turn my life around, like I believe Nick is, or has done, or is doing, hopefully. We'll see. I've not watched his new video yet. That's good. What he's doing now is good. He's identifying what he hates. And yes, it might be a bit like unfair to be like, oh, I hate my audience and I hate my family. But if he is feeling both love and hate for these things in his life, expressing that hate, addressing it, and then changing the root cause of why that hatred has encroached upon you, means that love can remain, and means that there's more space and resources and nutrients for that love to grow and multiply. This is a good thing he's doing. He's talking about YouTube, making mukbang videos, saying, "Oh, he's so funny. I could have made more money if I was more family friendly. I feel like I'm humorous, and YouTube is a good way to show off my personality. I could have done something with that. I've wasted these opportunities and connections I've had." And then him also talking about his music career. But essentially, what he's done with YouTube, he regrets. And he doesn't like what it's done to him. Me, I work in the culinary industry, and I'm pretty sick of it. And I want to leave, and I have a few weeks left in it. And I'm excited to leave and do something else, because I hate it. I hate having to serve people meat. I hate processing meat. I'm vegan, by the way. Nick used to be vegan, by the way, also, and then he eats this mound of chicken now. But I am not pleased with really like dealing with lamb's blood, like baby, infant, young sheep, lamb. It's not mutton, it's lamb. I don't like dealing with lamb's blood. I don't like having to rub coffee onto a raw pork loin. I don't like having to serve people meat. I don't like having to be pushy and boss people around because I'm the head cook. I don't like the responsibilities I get as a sous chef, where if I mess up or I don't freeze something, an animal goes to waste or a bunch of food's wasted. And I do that because I have so many pressures. I have so many things I have to do in my mind constantly, because the culinary industry is super thin profit margin, very difficult to operate a restaurant at a profit, and so you need to work. There's no downtime at work, no downtime in the kitchen. And I don't like that. That's not how I want to live my life. I don't want to be indoors all day, working with meat, being stressed out, high pressure environment, having to wear. I don't like how I look at work. I hate how I look at work. I don't feel nice. I can't express myself. I struggle with my body dysmorphism. I don't remember what it's called. All the pressure put on me. I don't like being pushed to do stuff. I want to work hard. I'm a good worker. I'm a hard worker. But I don't like being pushed to constantly push my peers, to constantly have more responsibility, to do these things that are emotionally and sensorily overwhelming to me. I've had so much anxiety just working in the culinary industry, and I want to be rid of it. I want to change. Same thing with Nick. He hates his job. It's not a good match for him, and he doesn't like it. He wants it to change.
Now these
So for a little bit, he just goes like, he just starts eating and stuff. By the way, that pizza looks real dry, and he keeps he bites into it. He has instant regret. He like starts eating, and he just I'm still doing it. It's the same with me. It's like I'm feeling like I want to lead the culinary industry and stuff, and then I go into work and I'm like, I'm still doing it. I'm still here. It's like, people pay for this, people work on this, and he's upset at the quality of his pizza because some worker just made it and was not passionate about it, probably because they don't like their job either. And saying Pizza Hut can either be great or bad, essentially saying that it depends who makes it. It depends if they're passionate about it. It depends on the ingredients. And for Nick, he's been using rotten, soiled, putrid ingredients in his life to try and build his life, to try and feed and nourish himself. And he's had no passion for what he's doing neither. So it's led to a bad result. It's led to people pay for this, people spend their time on this. That's what he's repeating this so much about his pizza because that's how he feels about himself. That's how I feel about myself. I'm spending my time on this. I'm spending my time on YouTube video. I used to spend so many hours editing YouTube videos that I was just like, is this even a good video? Is this worth my time? Is this worth it? That I decided to not socialize after work. I work like 12 hours a day, and then I get back home, and instead of hanging out with some friends in the night or on the weekend, instead I go back and I just work on my YouTube video, or I work on an art project. Yeah, I want to make art. Yeah, I want to share my stuff with YouTube videos. I want to spread positivity. But should I be doing that obsessively? Should I be doing that instead of having friends? No! I shouldn't be doing that. It would be lovely if I can do both, but I shouldn't be sacrificing my life to do stuff that just makes me unhappy when my goal is to try and make other people happy. It doesn't make any sense. How am I supposed to make YouTube videos that are actually entertaining and that brings joy to others if I'm miserable while making them? Clearly, I'm making this one because I'm passionate about it. And that's what you should do. You shouldn't waste your time on stuff that you're not passionate about. Obviously, like, oh, I'm not passionate about doing the dishes. But are you passionate about helping your family? Are you passionate about having a clean household and a healthy lifestyle? Do you want to have maggots in your sink? I'm passionate about not having maggots in my sink, so I do my dishes. You know what I'm saying?
I don't like this! I don't like this! I don't like this! And I don't like this.
Yes, Nick! Yes! This is what I love. This is what's important. He's expressing. It's repeated. because he's trying to get it out of his system. And you can say, oh, he's being childish. He's like, I don't like this, I don't like this, I don't like being a popular big YouTuber who has a bunch of food to eat. It does not matter about what appears to be a privilege. He's unhappy. He doesn't like it. Did you hear what he's saying? He doesn't like this. It's not fulfilling. And him expressing it, I want to express it. I can't do it in here because I'll turn the house to rubble. If we are not living in a good way, we really need to push against it. We need to push against it. We need to hate the things that are bad in life. We need to hate the things that are bad in the world. We need to hate our actions and our habits if we identify that they're destroying us and that they are harming the integrity of our core character. If they're not harming the integrity, because our core will always be our core, but if they are opposed to our core values and we are appearing as what we are not. You know, I am a person who's really curious and is interested in other people, but I don't show that because I'm afraid, because I've had a lot of trauma with like trying to connect with people, trying to make friends, and being socially outcast, being dismissed. And so I am a loving person, a deeply loving person, but it's really difficult to express that a lot of the time. And when I'm stuck in those ways, you know, I'm very lonely, and I spend all my time in my room working on projects and paintings and music and stuff, and sometimes sometimes it just kind of sucks too. And I'm giving myself the opportunity to express all that love I have. And when I come out, I'm scared, I'm afraid. It's difficult. I have fear in my heart, and I'm pushing it out. I'm getting rid of it. I don't like it. I don't like this when I'm in that situation. And so I want to change. Nick wants to change. He's not happy. I wasn't happy. I'm happier now. I've made some changes. I'm still working on changes. But this is a big part of life. And if you've not had something like this before, you are going to have a major period in your life where you have to do like spring cleaning of your habits, of your behaviors, of what you view. Like I've unsubscribed to a bunch of YouTube channels, I've resubscribed to other ones, I've recreated my Instagram page, I've put time limits on my apps because I don't want to spend all day on social media. I want to actually go outside because I love outside, and I don't do cartwheels in the garden as much as I should because I'm busy in here watching YouTube all day, and I don't like that. I don't like it. I need more moderation in my life. I need to actually prioritize what brings me joy, which is being outside. Why the heck am I inside right now? Let's go outside. I'm also like Nikocado.
I don't like this channel. I don't like what I'm doing with my life. I had goals, I had dreams, and I threw it all away to eat food.
Ah! Isn't it annoying when we realize what we've given up to pursue something that doesn't matter? It's infuriating. It's infuriating. And we should get angry when we've realized that either something addictive in our life has exploited us, or some lie that we've told ourselves has stopped us from doing the things we love, like connecting with people, like pursuing a career in music where we inspired people, where we could like provide inspiration and make connections and have like just such valued company. And that's what Nick misses. And he gave that up to eat food and get overweight and be obese and have health issues. And people say, well, you brought this on yourself, Nick. He knows! And he wants to change that. That's the most important thing. That I respect him so much because he realizes he's at a breaking point and he has to change. I don't look down on him because he's he's you know, decided to make all these bad decisions. I've made bad decisions. I believe so many lies I've told myself and other people have told me that I'm unlovable. I wanted to kill myself at one point in my life. Isn't that awful? It's rubbish. What is it? Life is so awesome. Why would I throw that away? We don't, because we're not living the way that we should live. Because you know, I had a bunch of I had no friends, right? I had so much anxiety. I didn't have anything good in my life. Life is good. We just need to actually live it. My good. You understand what I'm saying? I love you, Nick. I love you, Nick. I hate what you've done to yourself the last few years, and he agrees with me. Nick also hates what he's done to himself the last few years. That's why I've never made a video on him before, tried not to watch him before, because I hated what he was doing to himself. But I love him, and I'm excited. This is exciting. This is happy. This is exciting for me. Yes, it's difficult for him, but as someone who is observing him, and who's someone who loves him, because he's a human, you know, I love everyone, it's important. This is an awesome and joyful thing that he's about to go through. It's going to be difficult. I'm struggling with it a lot. I'm struggling with a lot of heartbreak right now, but I've changed, and I'm changing, and I'm so passionate about being a good servant, being a good friend, being a good partner. I want to be the best I can be. I want to love my friends. I want to be someone who can raise people up, who can share my heart. I want to be sensitive, and I want to be loving, and I want to be, if I ever marry someone, I want to be the best dang husband ever. And I just want to be loved and give love, and to do that, I need to learn. I need to learn how to connect with people. I need to learn how to communicate. I need to learn how to express my curiosity. I'm doing all this because after being heartbroken, the agony that I am in because of my lacking, because of my failure to connect with people, because of whatever reason these things have happened, I've just realized that the way I've been living my life that has led me to being so heartbroken, so in pain, clearly, it's not good. And I want that life to end. And I want a new one to start. As who I am at my core, I want to shed off all of that stuff that obfuscates, clouds the golden heart that I have inside. I think I'm done with this video. Nick goes on to talk about like his vivid memories of his music career, like his final concert that he made before he started his YouTube. And he has such a vivid memory, and he's saying, why is this memory so vivid? I think. And he also mentions how he used to be closer with God, which is awesome.
I felt closer to God, actually.
I love to hear that. I love to hear that he had a relationship with God that was closer, and he's clearly not happy that he's drifted away. And Jesus, what's awesome is we don't have to make the journey all the way back to him once we've left. We can just turn around and he'll be right there. He's with us, which is awesome. We just have to face him. We just have to turn around. We just have to open the door. And that's all. And that's all. And that's good news. Yeah, so he talks about what his memory being so vivid, the smells, the taste, of just this little moment where he was speaking to two colleagues of his, two people who were very reputable in the music community in New York.
And like I said, my final days being a performer, I'll never forget. I got invited to this like rooftop party, talking about what they're working on, music concerts and this and that, to help again give people joy. I'm talking to two guys, very, very, very nice, so nice. It was nighttime, and we were surrounded with a wall of lights, like you're in the middle of the sea. You're in the middle, and will never forget that we were standing there and it looked so beautiful to me. And again, we were talking about music, and the guy whose name I forget, but he was just like, I'm so grateful to be standing here with you two gentlemen. I'm so grateful. And I said, me too.
It is a pleasure to be with you two gentlemen. And Nick thinks how wonderful that was. How nice it was to have that party in that small community. And now he has a massive community that he believes that hates him. Why is this memory so strong in Nick's mind? I believe it's because Nick misses being respected. He misses being respected for who he actually is. Someone who wants to inspire people with his music, with his dedication to his craft. He talks a lot about hating rap and how it has no skill, and I think that's just a reaction thing. So I don't like this culture, I don't like the place I live in, I don't like the music I'm hearing, I don't like the stuff I indulge in. And you can practice at rap and stuff like that, but a lot of successful and popular rappers are, I must admit, don't come across like they're too dedicated to the craft. There's good rap, there's nice rap, I quite like some rap, but you can't deny a lot of rap is very, as he says, racist, misogynistic, greedy, self-involved and indulgent. Has a lot of bad qualities to it. And to him, his music, classical music, the violin, that's what he's passionate about. And so that's what he misses. He misses fellow people in that field saying, it's a pleasure to work with you, Nick. You're a gentleman. He misses that. He misses the respect he used to have. He misses the pride he used to have for his craft. I don't blame him. I don't blame him. There's so much more I could say, but I think I'm going to leave it there. And I heard that he's actually, I saw a thumbnail of him where he's skinny.
2 steps ahead. I am always 2 steps ahead.
I care about this person. What I've done with this video is I've seen what he said and I've been like, that's good, I relate to this. And yeah, if anybody watching is going through a tough time or is hating their life or is frustrated with how, like, their lifestyle and how they've not been their authentic self, I hope this video has encouraged you to be your authentic self. Now, I have no idea what's happening with Nick now. Right now. I don't know if I can figure it out. Yeah, just his video that he made with Bai and the things that he expressed, no matter how true or genuine they are, and I am inclined to believe that a lot of the things he expressed is honest and genuine. I don't know what he's doing right now though. This is very, like, things are happening as I'm recording this. I was super inspired by the video he made. And I just wanted to relate my happiness and my joy when I see other people seemingly going through what I went through, where I realized I was just not living in a good way and I wanted to change, and I am changing. And this is a really weird time to, I guess, come out. So I guess maybe I'll do that in another video, but I've had a name change recently, which is pretty awesome. Like in real life, I think I might keep the channel name Myfredo, but maybe we'll see. Maybe I'll change it.
We're so excited! We woke up! Yay! We woke up from the bad dream.
Yay! I'm filming this the next day, and I just watched a little bit more of his newer videos. And yeah, it's good news. I don't know what was up with the panda thing. I think it was very, it came off as like very villainous and like, so apparently he's been working things off and his pre-recorded videos were older than I thought. Apparently, I heard somebody say it was 2 years. I'm not super up to date with it. I don't really want to follow like the exact thing that happened. I more care about, you know, how he's changed and how more happy he seems, because that's what's important. So it looks like he's doing well, and he feels like this thing that happened has been going on for 8 years, and he describes it as feeling like a bad dream that he just woke up from. And man, his language I just so resonate with. Most nights of my life I usually have a stress dream or a nightmare, and in the last few weeks all of a sudden I stopped getting them, and it's been amazing. The last 2 nights I've started to get stress dreams again, which isn't great, but you know, it was nice to have a few weeks off. Yeah, but I'm glad. Yeah, it looks like he's doing well. He's still doing the mukbang videos, so I don't know if he might get to another breaking point, where he, like, if he's not going back to his music career, where it seems like that is really important to him, maybe he'll have another little push thing where he feels he needs to change again. But it looks like he's way happier. It looks like he's more aware, and I suspected that maybe the video from 4 months ago and stuff was pre-recorded, maybe by a few months, several months maybe, but I heard it might have been more like a couple years, which is that's impressive. It's impressive that he managed to plan that out and execute it. And that makes sense why the timeline of this just wasn't making much sense. So I definitely got the pre-recorded vibes, but I didn't catch on to that. Yeah, I don't really have anything else to add on to that, aside from I'm glad to see Nick smiling and happy. Look at this guy. He's got his featuring his parrot in the videos again, which is nice. A happy ending. Aside from it's not an ending, because it's a happy beginning to a new stage of his life, and it won't be the last stage. He will change again. Yeah, I hope he does more music. Do you perhaps also notice that when he did the major changes in his life and became more happy and managed to become way more healthy, he did that off of camera, personally, privately, maybe with his own close group of people supporting him, and he didn't showcase it publicly and parade himself? Yeah, that's just something interesting to think about, isn't it? But I'm inclined to leave the video there. And thank you so much for watching. Thank you for joining me. Yeah, I love you. And you really should pursue your authentic self. And a great way to do that is to accept Jesus as your Savior and His grace, and learn from God's Word. If that is something you're very opposed to, or that you aren't doing or aren't open to, God will never force Himself on you. He knocks at the door, but you have to answer it. Living life with God is so awesome, and I really encourage you to look into it. I encourage you to pray and just ask God to reveal Himself, have an open heart, invite the Spirit in, and if you don't do any of those things, still, I suppose, do your best to find your authentic self. And we can't do this alone, so you'll need friends, you'll need a strong community, you need someone. And for me, I always have that, because I always have God with me, and that's awesome. Yeah, good luck out there. Good luck. The world is tough. Often it is working against you. So be very mindful of what you spend your time on. Be passionate about finding something that you care about, and that's good for you. I'm going to leave it there.